This is Appalachian Television Omni Media, improving America. Before the tale, I wanted to reach out to my fans and kind of apologize for, not posting for a while. A few of you reached out to me and wanted to let you know that it mattered, and I really appreciate you guys. I have been working on AtomRadio76, two-dog broadcast, music channel, and, I'll be picking up on this again. Thank you for support. Thank you for your patience, and really do appreciate it. And everybody gets to hear that this is actually my voice and not AI. Thanks a lot. 3:08. Local Wasteland time. If you're hearing this, you made it through another stretch of dark. Maybe you're sitting watch somewhere. Maybe you've got your boots off for the first time in 2 days. Maybe you're lying awake because something outside keeps moving through the brush, and you've decided you'd rather not know what. Either way, this is Midnight in the Wasteland. I'm Nightwatch. Tonight's story is about a shirt. White once. Not anymore. Still clean, though. Cleaner than anything has a right to be out here. It belonged to a man named Elias. Or maybe it belonged to him. Isn't quite right. He carried it. Protected it. Kept it folded in the bottom of a pack for more years than anyone could ever remember. But I don't think he ever really thought of it as his. This one comes from a cook who traveled with Elias for almost 6 years. Said Elias wasn't much for talking. Useful man. Could patch leather instead of splint. Knew which old roads flooded and which ones looked like they did. He wasn't brave enough to be stupid or afraid enough to be useless. It's about as much as a caravan could ask. The cook first saw the shirt outside Morgantown. They'd been caught in the rain for 2 days. Everything they owned was wet. Bedrolls, socks, ammo boxes. The Brahmin smelled worse than usual, which is saying something. They made camp in what was left of an old service garage. Everyone started laying the things out to dry. That was when Elias opened his pack. Under tools, under food, under a roll of wire and 2 spare magazines, was a bundle wrapped in wax paper. He checked it carefully, opened one corner, looked inside, then wrapped it back up. The cook asked what it was. Elias said, "A shirt." The cook laughed, thought maybe there was a joke coming, but there wasn't. Later that night he asked again. Elias finally showed him. It was a white dress shirt, old world cut, button still on it, collar a little yellow around the fold, but clean. Actually clean. Not Wasteland clean. Not knock the dirt off and hope it passed for best clean. Clean. The cook told him he could probably get good caps for it. Elias said he knew. Asked why he didn't sell it. Elias said, need it later. And that was all. People carry strange things. Photographs, keys, wedding rings, letters from people who stopped writing because there was nobody left to write them. Nobody bothered Elias about the shirt after that. Not for a while. It came up again near Sutton. One of the guards caught a piece of sheet metal across the arm. Deep cut. Bad one. They were low on bandages. The cook remembered the shirt. Good cloth. Clean cloth. Exactly what you would want. He asked Elias for a sleeve. Just one. Elias looked at the wounded man. Looked at the shirt. Then tore a strip from his own undershirt instead. It was dirty. Sweat stiff. Barely better than nothing. The guard lived. Nobody said much about it. But after that, people started wondering. A few months later, somebody offered Elias 75 caps for the shirt. That was real money then. Enough food to matter. Enough ammunition to stop counting every shot. Elias said no. The man offered 100. Still no. The cook asked him what he was saving it for. Elias told him. Years before, when he was still young, he and his brother lived in a half-collapsed house out of Morgantown. Didn't have much. 2 beds between 3 rooms. A stove that smoked indoors. A roof that leaked in 4 places and somehow always found a 5th. The brothers worked where they could. Scrap. Hauling. Guard jobs when somebody was desperate enough to hire boys. There was one decent shirt in the house. White. Their father's, maybe. Elias wasn't sure. By then it didn't matter where things came from. Only whether they still worked. His brother was older. His name was Daniel. Daniel had heard about a caravan company taking guards and laborers. Regular route. Regular pay. Maybe food was included. The kind of thing that starts sounding like a future when you've gone long enough without one. The morning Daniel left, he stood at the door wearing work clothes. Boots with one sole wired on. Coat too thin for the season. Elias asked why he wasn't taking the good shirt. Daniel laughed. Said, no point ruining it on the road. Then he folded it. Put it in Elias's hands. And said, keep it clean. Elias asked what for. Daniel said, we'll need something decent for when things get better. Then he left. And that was it. No argument. No warning. No feeling that the world had just divided itself into before and after. Daniel was supposed to be gone 3 weeks. Maybe 4. The caravan came back without him. Depending on who told it, he got sick near Grafton. Or left a route. Or took another job. Or vanished during a raider attack nobody could quite remember correctly. No body. No grave. No last words. Just explanations. Too many explanations. Elias waited. First because Daniel said he'd come back. Then because the caravan master said he might. Then because somebody heard a man matching his description near Clarksburg. Then because waiting had become easier than deciding not to. The shirt stayed folded. At first it was practical. Daniel might need it. Then sentimental. Then something else. Years passed. Elias left the house. Started moving with caravans. The shirt went with him. Always wrapped. Always dry if he could manage it. He could sleep soaked through. But the shirt stayed dry. He could go 3 days without changing socks. But if mud got near the wax paper, he stopped what he was doing. One winter, a woman offered him antibiotics for it. Good antibiotics. He had a fever. Still said no. Another time they lost most of their supplies crossing high water. Elias saved the shirt before he saved his spare boots. The cook told me that was when he finally got angry. Asked him what in God's name he thought was going to happen. Was Daniel going to walk out of the trees one day, 20 years older, and say, "Good job, Elias. Glad you kept my shirt." Elias didn't answer. The cook kept going. Said things get used. Things wear out. That's what things are for. Elias listened. Then he said we'd need it when things got better. The cook said things didn't get better. Elias looked at him for a long time, then folded the shirt again. Not yet. That was the end of the argument. I think about that. Not yet. 2 small words. enough room inside them to live a whole life. Elias got older. The shirt did too, even protected from weather. Cloth changes. The white went soft and yellow. The fold stayed pressed into it. One button cracked. The collar started to fray where nothing had ever touched it. Still, he kept it. The caravan cook said he saw Elias take it out once near Flatwoods. Clear evening. No rain. No dust. Elias sat beside the road and unfolded the shirt across his knees. Smoothed it out with both hands. Checked the seams. Held it up by the shoulders. For a second, the cook thought he might finally put it on. He didn't. He just looked at it, then said, "Wouldn't fit him now anyway." The cook asked, "Daniel?" Elias nodded, then laughed once. It was a small laugh, like he surprised himself with it. He'd be fat by now. The cook laughed too. They sat there imagining him, Daniel older, heavy around the middle, complaining about his knees, shirt too tight at the neck, maybe children, maybe a house, maybe none of it. For about 5 minutes, Daniel was alive again, not as a missing man, just as someone who might have gotten fat. Then Elias folded the shirt, wrapped it, put it back. The last time the cook saw him, Elias was heading north alone. Said caravan life was getting too hard on his legs. Nobody knows where he went. Maybe somebody does. Stories like this usually have one more person holding on to one more piece. The cook asked if Elias still had the shirt. And he did. Same bundle. Same wax paper. Same answer. Needed later. I don't know whether Elias ever wore it. I don't know whether Daniel ever came back. Probably not. I don't think either question matters much, because after enough years, Elias wasn't preserving a shirt. He was preserving a sentence. When things get better. As long as the shirt stayed clean, the sentence hadn't been proven wrong. There was still a later. Still some decent day ahead worth dressing for. Still some morning when Daniel might walk through the door and laugh because his old shirt had somehow survived better than either one of them did. People save things for all kinds of reasons. Because they're valuable. Because they're rare. Because someone they love touched them once. Sometimes they save them because using them would mean admitting something. That the person wasn't coming back. That the occasion never arrived. That the future that they were promised became the past while they weren't looking. So the thing stays folded. Untouched. Waiting. And maybe that sounds foolish. Maybe it is. But I've seen worse reasons to keep going. This is Midnight in the Wasteland. I'm Nightwatch. I'll be here tomorrow, if the wires still hold. Until then, if you've been saving something for when things get better, maybe keep it a little longer. Just not forever.